Hello. Hello. Sorry, having a few technical difficulties with the music. There we go. There it is. Let's turn the volume up a bit, though. All right. It has been a while since I've streamed, so forgive me if things are a little bit janky for the time being. Still got a couple of things to sort out. Especially since I switched to using a new monitor. I had a whole bunch of different things going on. It's been a lot. But regardless, let's go ahead and get things started, shall we? No need to delay. Okay. Not sure what the music volume is like right now, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, game. Is the aspect ratio working? It's not even detecting the game. Hold on. Okay, there we go. If I go full screen, hopefully that's correct. If it's not correct, then I don't know what to do. I can't even see my own screen right now. Weird noises from Hypixel right now. Oh, I didn't set my music to loop. Hold on. Let me get on that. There we go. Okay, so what I need to do, if I'm going to be recreating Skyblock within Hypixel housing, I'm going to need to go ahead and set up a new house. I have actually attempted this in the past without streaming it. So I'm going to quickly show you guys a little bit of like the basic idea of what we're doing here. This thing is incredibly buggy, this particular version, which is why I'm starting over. But as you can see, there's an NPC. You can talk to the NPC. He says things. He says something else too normally when you first come in. And then he says different things if you click him again after that. Weaponsmith here. Jack is the weaponsmith of this different variation of Skyblock. He doesn't have a menu yet. As you can see, there's a wizard's tower. Enchantments from the table only apply to player versus player PvP. It's just a technical limitation. Unfortunately, there's a bug with that as well, which I hope to resolve later. As you can see, there's the banker. This was the banking system that I came up with at the time. Get these different coin values. You can click on them, switch it between whether you're withdrawing or depositing, because unfortunately, there's no way to like input specific numbers normally. The bank used to be embedded into the wall, like it used to be an entire room, but luckily they added the menus. But yeah, I've also got this area down here that unfortunately it broke, but you were previously able to like mine these different blocks on the ground, and it would actually give you coal and iron and things. But it broke. And of course there's other areas that I was going to do. There was a quest line that I started working on with this cave wizard and this scientist guy over here. But like I said, all of this right now, unfortunately, is really buggy, but you can kind of get the idea of what I'm going for here. So, say these trees, you'd be mining the different types of trees and progressing through my own interpretation of foraging. You'd be able to chop a few logs off of this tree as well. Different part of the town. All sorts of ideas. And I was going to have some dungeons and things hidden off underground. But since this thing is so buggy, unfortunately, I'm going to be starting a different housing. And I'm going to be using that one and working from there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go to Blue House. So Blue House is where I've started building a very basic world. It doesn't look like much here until I get to the top. But as you can see, there's a few different biomes, and there's a ton of space underneath. And all that space underneath, I'm going to use it for a mining system, for a dungeon system. I'm not sure how I'm going to make the combat work, but that's one of the things that we got to figure out here. But anyway, to get started, we need to make money. Let's start with money, shall we? That's probably one of the easier of the systems that we could get started on. I'm also going to make sure we remove any systems that are already there. Looks like we don't have any. Unless there's, like, event actions. I don't think there are. Okay, so there are a few technical limits that I was running into that I'd still need to figure out how to solve. And that is, I wanted to do PvP, but unfortunately there's not a way to, like, determine what items the person that attacked you had. Except for by determining, like, the different amounts of damage that the player took. It's kind of a difficult way to interpret things, because that would limit the amount of weapons and tools that I could have to just whatever unique damage numbers there are. And that would not be optimal. So let's see. Starting with coins. So it's been a while since I've done any scripting with this, but if I do placeholders, you should be able to see that there's a bunch of different things. These are a bunch of different values that I can put in there in order to do calculations. And I can do stats and things that are permanent data. And that is kind of how I can start building things up. I'm actually going to turn off shaders because I'm finding it harder to see. Hope you guys don't mind that. Switch to internal. If it'll load. My goodness. Okay. You might have to wait a second while that loads. For some reason, the shaders take a long time to swap. Come on, man. You could do it. We're turning them off, not on. Alright. I don't know what's taking it, what's making it take so long, but it's not even letting me tab out to look at the stream stuff, so guess we just have to stick here until it's done here. It shouldn't be too long. There we go, maybe. Did my Minecraft crash? Okay, hold on. Yeah, my Minecraft actually crashed from that. That's crazy. Okay, I guess we're stuck on this screen for a moment. Oh, this one's broken too! No, all my stream stuff is broken. Okay, hold on. Let me stretch this out. How about that? There we go. Gotta have that shadow there, right? Makes me look a little fancier. There we go. Hopefully everything will be fixed next time I stream. I was not prepared, apparently. I'm gonna have to go through and fix everything now that I have a new monitor, new aspect ratios and everything. Okay, let's relaunch that Minecraft thing there. You know, technical difficulties, they happen. Might be able to fix some of these, actually. Alright, Minecraft's booting up again. Should be good to go in just a minute. Kinda just streamed on a whim, to be honest, so we'll have to see how this goes. If it goes badly, it's okay. I can just kinda edit this into a video, make it all nice and clean later. Alright, we're almost there. Just realized the bottom of that image is chopped off a bit. There we go. Now it's not chopped off anymore. Oh no, this silhouette as well. So many things broke. It's crazy. Alright, here we are. Minecraft's back. Woo! It's also going to be really tiny for a split second there. Maybe. Alright, it's short. We just slightly stretch things out. I'm sure it won't be noticeable. No, wait, why am I going Skyblock? This is the wrong place. I do want to recreate that, but I don't want to actually be on it right now. Oh, and it didn't even turn off the shaders. Okay. You know what? It's fine. We can leave them on for now, I guess. Don't want to have to go through that again. Alright, so here we are again. Let's get started with the money system. Because honestly, money is probably one of the most important things in Skyblock, if you think about it. Like, you don't need dungeons progression, you don't need skills, you just need money, and you can do pretty good in Skyblock. Let's see. So the first thing we're going to want to do, let's go ahead and add it to the tab menu, I guess. Because on the side of the screen, that's where your money usually is in Skyblock. So let's go ahead and try to put that there as well. See, I don't even remember where the option for it is. Regions, teams, custom menus. Is it in settings? No. Where is it? It's been a while since I've worked on this particular thing. No, I do want to be in build mode. Oh boy. So region scoreboard editor. Okay, I just missed it. Never mind. Okay, so placeholders. So we can do, there's player name, server name. Server name is already on there. We don't need to worry about that. House.name. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. House.name. Custom line. House.name. And as you can see, when I do house.name there, you can see that on the sidebar there, it says Blue House, because that's the house that I'm currently on. And that way, it's all nice and compact there. And then we can add a blink line. Then we can add another custom line. And for this custom line, we want to do, let's do yellow, or like a orange color, and we'll just say coins, colon, and then stat.player/coins. Which means that it's a stat that the player has, and it's the stat called coins. Currently, we have 0, and I think there's a command that allows us to edit stats. Let me double check that real quick. And we can go ahead and test that out real quick. It's got to be somewhere here. Y'all remember what the command to edit stats is? Oh, never mind. I found it. Here we go. Template here says edit stats player, so that would be me. Ender_Haven. Stats, we want edit coins. We want to set coins to, I don't know, let's go crazy. Let's do 100,000, 100 million, 1 billion coins. Look at that. I'm rich, guys. Okay, so we have 1 billion coins now. There we go. All right, so now that we have 1 billion coins, we need to go ahead and work on the next thing. So let's add levels. Let's add levels, right? We can go ahead and throw that in the same spot, just on the scoreboard here. We'll just add a custom line, and we'll do level. Or, sorry, yeah. No. Let's do level, but let me pull up a color guide. I don't remember what all the color symbols were. I think it was E. Nah, E was for yellow. Here we go. We got B. Okay, B and B. We got level. And then we'll do, again, stat.player/level. Did that... Oh, no, Plater. Plater is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and give that one another try. Stat.player/level. There we go. So now if we want to do the same thing that we did with the coins, we'll just do... level set. Oh, let's say that I'm level 400. Okay, so there we go. So I have 1 billion coins and I'm level 400. That's an end game player right there. Right, guys? No? Is 400 Skyblock levels end game? All right, so there's one more thing, and the last thing that I'm going to add for this particular test is experience points. But they might not always stay on the sidebar, but this is a very good place to view them while we're working on it. Okay, so instead of level, we want to do XP, not EP, XP. And let's make this one green, so A, not B, A. Will it please work? There we go. And we'll do XP. Okay, and just like we did with the levels, we can set the experience to 400. Okay, so that's all well and good. The problem is, no matter how much experience I gain, even if I have like 1 billion, 10 billion experience points, I'm never going to level up again. And honestly, that whole prospect has got me kind of sad. So let's go ahead and implement a basic leveling system. So let's go ahead and set our experience back to 0 so that we can get to work on that. And we'll set our levels back to 0 as well. Let's get to work on a basic leveling system. So what we want to do is we want to make a function called level check. We're just going to call it this for now. And in this one, we're going to say if XP... What is it that I called that other thing? I called it XP, yes, okay. XP is greater than or equal to 100. So we'll say that it takes 100 experience to level up. Then, if that is true, then we'll change the player's experience by lowering it by 100. And we'll change the player's level by incrementing it by 1. So that's exactly how we are going to do it. Hello, RSBT. Okay. So you're probably going to notice as soon as I give myself the right amount of experience that nothing will happen. I'm just going to make like a little button here that'll give me experience. So we'll say this thing will change experience by incrementing it by 50, let's say. But in order to make it actually do something, we need to actually run the function that will help us level up. So let's go ahead and find this trigger function, and we'll say when we add that experience, let's check if we've leveled up. And just to kind of make sure that we know if it fails, if we don't level up, then when we level check and it says that we don't level up, then we'll go ahead and, I don't know, let's see. Let's put a message in chat. Is there, where's the thing to send a message in chat? Display menu. Let's see. Send a chat message. There we go. Did not level up. There we go. And likewise, in the if thing, we'll go ahead and put another action that says did level up. And we'll put a smiley face. Okay, so now when we push this button, we gain 50 experience. You can see we have 50 now. Put it again. Bam. We leveled up. Did not level up the first time, but we did level up this time. As you can see, I'm now level 1. So that is absolutely lovely. We've successfully leveled up in our most basic Hypixel Skyblock recreation here. Okay, so this is button simulator right now. We push this button and we level up half as often as we push this button. So there's a very rudimentary basic system there. We're leveling up. All right. So of course the main point of Skyblock isn't just getting levels, it's about gaining coins as well. So how are we going to gain coins? Well, you see, in regular Skyblock, sometimes you'll gain coins when you level up, right? But how do you level up? By doing things like breaking blocks, fighting mobs, all sorts of things like that. But unfortunately, you can't do that within Hypixel housing by default. So I think we should start... You do get coins by leveling up, not Hypixel levels, but any other skill. I'm not going to go into the depth with like the different skills and things, because it's literally just the same system as here, except for maybe there's a target experience level, right? Instead of just having a flat 100 experience points needed, then you just say, oh, well, each time you level up, we'll make it so slightly more experience is needed each time. That's something that I can probably show in just a bit. So while we're working on that, let's go ahead and see if we can... I guess for now, since we don't have any actual skills, we can just go ahead and use this button. Why is my plot so big? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's because I have a rank. And you can spend mystery dust to upgrade it to be pretty decently sized. I could make it even bigger if I had Housing Plus, but I don't, so... For now, this is the extent of our world. Someday it'll probably be bigger. Let's see. So if we want to make a scaling leveling system, then that will be a little bit more tricky. Let's go ahead and take a look at our function here. So as you can see, right now we're saying, well, is the person's experience level greater or equal to 100? Well, you see, the thing is, instead of comparing it just to 100, we can compare it to a different value. So if I want to go ahead here, and on the scoreboard, I'll add another custom line. This one, I'll say target XP. And then I'll do that dot player slash XP goal. And that should work. So, of course, if the XP goal is 0, then you're just going to level up immediately. Which is fine, because I want people to be level 1 by default. Let's quickly go ahead and set our level to 0. Okay, so now when people level check here, we're going to say, instead of checking if the experience level is greater or equal to 100, we'll say, is the experience level greater or equal to stat.player slash XP goal. So, does the player have more or the same amount as the experience goal? Does it just want this? It's been a while. No? There we go. Okay, and currently, of course, the experience goal is 100, and it's supposed to take away 100 experience. So let me fix that real quick, because it's trying to take away 100 experience, even though the experience goal is 0. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. So we'll want to go back in here, go back into this function, and instead of taking away a flat 100, we'll do the same thing as we did here. Let's take away stat.player/experience goal. And of course, if the experience goal is 0, then you'll just level up every single time you hit that button. And I don't know if we really want people to level up every single time they hit this button. And they'll keep their experience points. They'll never spend any of their experience points to actually level up, because the amount of experience that they need to level up is 0. So let's see if we can fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this function here. And when the player successfully levels up, we're going to have those stats changed. But I'm also going to, after that, I'm going to set the experience goal to be multiplied by 1.2. How about that? Will it let me do that? Will not let me do 1.2. Okay. Let's divide it by 5 and then multiply it by 2. That should give me what I need. Divide by 5. Okay. Multiply by 2. And then we need to multiply that by 5 again to bring it back to what it's supposed to be. There we go. And then, of course, that should set our new goal. But, of course, 0 divided by whatever multiplied again is still going to be 0. So we're going to take this, and we're just going to increment it by 100, no matter what. So now when we push this button, the next goal to level up is going to be 100 experience points. We push it again. Now it costs 300 experience points to level up. Push the button a few more times. See, now it's taking more pushes of the button to level up. Bam, now it costs 700 experience to level up. Of course, this might get ridiculous really fast, so it might need a little bit more working with. But as you can see, there's a little bit more of a progression system here, so it's taking more experience every time that I level up to get to the next level. And that's all good and well. But I don't know if that's exactly what we want here. For regular Skyblock levels, like in Skyblock, there's a flat number to level up with your regular Skyblock levels, and then with skills, maybe it's something more like that, where it progresses exponentially, where you need a lot more experience points the more that you actually progress through the skill. Which is how it works with most games. So now that we've got this tier-based experience thing going, we'll go ahead and balance it just a little bit so it's not as ridiculous. So instead of dividing it by 5, I'm going to divide it by 10. And then multiply it by 10 again. That's just the way that you can get smaller multipliers. So if I divide it by 10, then multiply it by 2, and then multiply it by 10 again. Wait, now that I think about it, I'm not sure if that's actually any smaller. I might just be doing pointless things. Hold on here. I didn't fact check my math before I was doing all this. Okay. So we can go ahead and remove those for now. We'll just leave it as is. Or I guess we can just change it to increment by 100 each time for now. I'll go ahead and fix that in a bit. But as you can see, we've got a very basic leveling system there. Go ahead and try it again. Now it takes 200 experience to level up. Now it takes 300. That's a little bit more linear. A little bit less absurd. But let's see. That's a basic leveling system. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. So what's another stat that is in Hypixel that we can replicate here? So I know one of the systems that players engage with frequently is combat. But of course, combat, in the case of this, is not so simple. Because the only ways to do combat are through custom coding all of the entire damage system, or by having it player versus player. And unfortunately, with player versus player custom items that do custom types of damage, like with the Hypixel's health and intelligence system, that is a little bit more complicated. So perhaps we should start with making the health and the intelligence system. Because normally in Skyblock, if you recall, you have your health, you have your defense, and you have your mana. It's up there on the tab bar. Or not the tab bar, just right above your hotbar. So maybe we can go ahead and recreate that. So let's call this stat display. And of course, we want to display an action bar. And for this one, let's see, health should be red. So let's do NC. Let's search for the Skyblock icons. Hello, Vindicator. I do know you. There you go. Let's search for the icons. Hey, health here. So this is the health icon. And it should be stat.player/health. And then next to that, we'll do stat.player/max health. Of course, your health and max health are a different thing. So let's go ahead and set this to update as frequently as possible. So as you can see, I currently have 0 out of 0 health right now. Okay, you also have a Minecraft series that has 17 parts. Yeah, I had a hardcore live stream thing that was going for a while. I might revisit it sometime soon. Yeah, as you can see here, it's a little red bit there. It's kind of hard to see. Let me turn up the GUI scale a bit there. You can see that there's little red text. If I walk up to this wall, you might be able to see it a little bit better. So there's a heart icon and then 0 out of 0. That is because I haven't set the health values to be anything other than 0. That's okay. Let's go ahead and finish typing out the rest of it. Now that we've confirmed that that stat bar is working, let's see. The next stat that we want to show is defense. And for this, we need green, which is a defense icon. And then we need stats.player/defense. So now you can see there's the defense icon, and then there's a 0 because you currently have 0 defense. Gain 10 diamonds while mining, and you did not use any mods. That's crazy, man. 10 diamonds. Congrats. Let's see. And B. So the next thing we need is mana. Because mana is one of the vital things for Hypixel Skyblock. Make an auction house. I want to, but the problem with an auction house is that it requires dynamic content. And dynamic content is next to impossible to do within Hypixel's housing system, if not actually impossible. I haven't been able to find out a way to do it. And believe me, I have tried. Let's see. I can make a banking system, and I might be able to make an auction, not an auction house, a bazaar. The bazaar, I believe, is actually very possible. Because those things can be stored as global variables. Except for the dynamic prices of the bazaar wouldn't be possible. That's the only problem. The dynamic prices that the bazaar has wouldn't be possible. I mean, they might be, but the prices would have to raise and lower dynamically for everybody at the same time, and I don't really want to worry about that complex of a system. So I just basically have everything be worth its NPC value, unfortunately. So yeah, there we go. As you can see on the bar there, we have health, defense, and mana. Of course, they're not spaced out as Hypixel usually has it, but I'm not too concerned with that. The main important thing there is that the stats are being shown, and you can fairly easily see them. So there's our new health, there's our new defense, there's our new mana. How am I not dead? Bro has 0 health. I have 0 Skyblock health, but I do have lots of player health still. So that's an important thing that we need to work on right now, actually. So, of course, we don't want people to start out with level 0 with 0 health and 0 mana total. So we are going to need to start with some sort of initializer, something to kind of get people started with the proper values when they join the server. So let's create another new function. Or actually, we might not need to do this as a function. See, player join. Okay, we probably should do it as a function. So it's like if the player is joining for the first time. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this as a function. Let's call this init for initialize, right? Which is getting started. Not for Tommy in it. Okay, and we'll want to change the player stats. Level. We'll just go ahead and set that to 1. So people start out on level 1. And then we'll go ahead and set... not max health. We're not related to that. Max health, there we go. Max health, we want to set that to 100 by default. Said the first time you saw a Minecraft Phantom, you thought it was a dinosaur at first. Honestly, I don't blame you. They kind of look like a dinosaur. Sad Minecraft. Mac doesn't get health. Yeah, Mac is banned from getting health, guys. I'm sorry. You don't know what he did, but I do. That's what's important. Let's see. Max mana. You gotta go. Bye. Alright. See you later, man. Max mana. Let's set that to 100. Regular mana, let's set that to 100 as well. See you later, Vindicator. It's very similar to the see you later alligator, huh? Let's see. There we go. So now if we do... let's see. I need to do So if I'm running it manually, there we go. You can now see that I have 100 max health, 100 max mana. I have full health, full mana. I'm now level 1, and of course, I shouldn't have any coins, but I gave myself some earlier, so I do have them. And I have 0 experience points. My target experience points is currently 0, so that's something I need to add to the initializer. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Pretty sure XP goal is what I set it to. So let's just say your first experience goal is 100. There we go. Target experience is 100, and then I'll level up from there. So now if I were to reset everything, so if I player data, let's see. Current duration 14 days. Unfortunately, that's a technical limit if you don't pay for extra stuff. So if you joined this and then didn't play on it for 14 days and came back, everything would be reset, which is sad, but I can fix that later if this ends up being successful. And I mean, as long as you're playing it at least once within the 14 days, then it'll save things just fine. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. There's something that allows you to reset the player data. I just don't remember what the command was. Clear stats. There we go. Clear stats. This is the equivalent of just wiping somebody in Hypixel Skyblock. There we go. So as you can see, all my stats are reset to their base values. And then if I do function, run, init, there we go. We can see I'm level 1, got the health and mana correct, target experience correct, the level is correct. I have 0 coins and 0 experience. So this is what a fresh player should look like. So what we want to do is do a event action. When a player joins, we should check, is their level? Is this not the correct thing? We need to do a conditional. There we go. Is their level less than or equal to 0? In which case, if it is less than or equal to 0, then we need to reset their stats and help initialize them. There we go. And now when a player joins, it'll check if they have any levels, and if they do not, then it'll give them some. So now if I go back to the lobby, here we are. And then if I join this house again, we should see that it immediately gave me the health and the mana, since I didn't have anything like that yet, because I cleared my stats when we left. So there we go. So now we've got the player with 100 health and 100 mana, level 1 with their target experience set correctly. They start with 0 coins. This is a nice fresh start to their gameplay. Of course, mana doesn't do anything yet. Health doesn't do anything yet. If you run out of health, you don't die yet. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And of course, there is no damage, so defense doesn't even change anything at the moment. So let's go ahead and get started on figuring these next few elements out. So first off, let's go ahead and figure out some damage. So normally, pretty sure I can just do this. Normally, if I fall, I take damage to my Minecraft health, but I don't take any damage to my actual Skyblock health. So let's go ahead and see if we can change that. So right here, we want to go events. So when a player takes damage, we want to see... Let's see. I made this system a while ago, but I didn't actually prepare anything ahead of time. So I don't have any notes. Let's see. Fail parkour, that sounds useful for a totally different game. Okay, so first I'm going to do something. Okay. I think I've got this figured out. So if I do placeholders, this tells you all the custom things I can replace values with. But as you can see, there's player.level, player.version, player.health is what we're looking for here. So if the player health is 20 and they take fall damage, then we can figure out what the difference between the amount of health they had before and the amount of health they have now. And we can use that to determine the fall damage. So if a player has 20 health by default, and then they take, say, 2 damage, then they'll have 18 health, and I can use that number to help determine the amount of fall damage that they should take. So we need to go to player damage, and we need to do a conditional. We need to say if the cause of the damage was falling. Now we'll do the fall damage calculation. So we need to do... Let's see. We'll just do fall damage here, and we'll set this to 20. And then we'll take this fall damage value, and we will subtract the player's current health. So say if they took 2 hearts of damage, they should have 18 health. If we take away 18 health, there will be 2 remaining. So out of this 2 remaining health from fall damage, we want to take the fall damage, and we will multiply it by 2. So actually, let's multiply it by 4. I think that's good. So if the player takes 1 heart of Minecraft damage, then he will take 4 hearts of Hypixel damage. Or rather, this custom damage. Okay, so then, after we've calculated that final damage, then I want to take, not fall damage, but health, and I want to decrement it by stat.player fall damage. So I subtract the final fall damage from the health. And then, just to make sure it updates immediately, we'll go ahead and trigger the stat display. And after that, we'll give the player... We'll wait for like a tick, I guess. Just so that it has time to finish processing. Don't want to change the player's group. We'll do a full heal. Okay, there we go. So now if I'm up here, and I do game mode survival, and I fall and take damage. It did not work. Alright, hold on. Let's fall from higher. I should have taken at least some damage there. So we are going to have to debug this a little bit. Okay, so player damage, if the source is fall damage, which is correct. Let's pause execution for a little bit longer. Let's see if that fixes it. Game mode creative. Game mode survival. Still didn't do it. Wonder what I've done wrong here. I literally used this exact same system a little bit earlier. I just didn't remember how I did it exactly. Let's see, fall damage. Fall damage. Fall damage decrement by player health. That is correct. Oh, you know what? I think I know. No, I think I remember what it was. I think I need to pause execution before because the damage hasn't finished processing yet. By the time that it's checking the player's health. So it needs a delay first so that the server can finish processing the player's health change, and then I can run all these checks and see how the player's health changed. And I think that's what it was. There we go. So as you can see, the game didn't actually know that I had taken any damage yet when I was running those checks. So I had to add a little bit of a delay on the front so that it would know, so that it would have time to say, okay, you took this damage, and then it does the processing to see how much damage I took and how much Skyblock health I should take away. Now, unfortunately, I've lost that Skyblock health forever. It'll never come back. There's no way that I'm getting any of those health points back. So I think we should work on that and figure out how to get our health points back. So we've got our stat display. So this time we will call it regen. So this won't just be health regen, but it'll also be mana regen. This one's going to be very simple. We'll just say if health is less than or equal to max health. Sorry, stat dot player slash max health. There we go. Then health will increment by 1. So that is correct. And we want the player to regenerate 1 health every second. So you can see my health is slowly going back up again. Might make the regen a little bit slower, but more at a time. And once we're full, we'll see if it stops or if it just keeps going beyond the max health. Yep, it just kept going beyond the max health by 1. I think I know why. So when we go to the regen, we said if it's less than or equal to the max health, we just want less than, not less than or equal. And if it's not less than, then we want to set health, set, that player, max health. That'll limit the players so they can't go above their maximum amount of health. There we go. That should be it. We'll see if I regenerate properly real quick. It's kind of slow. I might set my max health to something a little bit lower so that we don't have to worry about it taking a long time. Either that or I can actually future-proof the system and improve it at the same time. So instead of having this conditional here that changes it after the fact, we're just going to add another conditional immediately after it. That's just a separate conditional that says if health is greater than stat.player/max health. There we go. And if it's greater than that, then we will set health to be the same as max health. Now, the reason why we're doing it as two separate conditionals is because that way, if I have the player heal by, say, 100 health points at a time or 200 health points at a time, it'll set the player's health to 200, right? It'll boost it by 200. And then immediately after, it'll check, is it more than the max health? If so, let's bring it back down to the max health. So that means that I'll be able to set this health regen number to be something crazy like 1,000. And next time I take damage, it should just immediately restore me to full health, but not go above. Yep, so as you saw, it immediately restored me back to full health, but didn't do anything extra. Okay, now let's see. I don't actually want my health regeneration to be quite that fast. So let's bring this back down to something like 5 for the sake of testing. So now if we go up pretty high, took a pretty hefty amount of damage there. Let's go to initialize. Let's set the player's max health to something higher. This might cause a bug for a moment. So if I were to fall right now with the fall damage thing, it would actually heal me because my max health is more than the limit. So it'll assume that I'm taking negative fall damage, pretty much. I could explain why that is, but I don't really want to worry too much about it. But the fix is actually really simple. In this conditional, I guess, not in this conditional. In here, you see where you set fall damage to 20. Instead of 20, you'll just want to set this number to be whatever the player's max health is. In fact, that is probably the best thing you can do. Whatever the player's max health is, whether it's 10, 5, 20 hearts, then now the fall damage will be able to work with however much their max health is. Okay, so I'm going to wipe myself again. There we go. My stats are all cleared. I'm going to go back to the lobby, and when I join back again, I should have 2 rows of hearts. Because it's reinitializing me. And if I go into game mode survival, you can see I have 2 rows of hearts. So now I can fall from a lot higher without actually dying through Minecraft's health system. But I can take a whole lot of damage to my Skyblock health. As part of that, actually, I'm going to buff the fall damage so it deals more... So it deals more health overall. So now falling from a shorter height will deal more damage to me. See, that did almost half my health. It was a lot shorter of a fall. But don't worry, people will be able to boost their max health and things. So it's not going to be that much of a deal, and I don't expect people to be doing too much high elevation parkour. And there might be ways to integrate some sort of feather falling system. In fact, I'm pretty sure the feather falling enchantment itself works because the fall damage is based on the amount of Minecraft damage you take. So, no concern there. Everything should work fine. So there we go. We've got health, damage, and things we can, and ways to regenerate health. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get a chest. And we're going to create our first magic item. Now, this magic item is going to be the most legendary item of all. You see, it's going to be a magical stick that does absolutely nothing except for consume mana. Because that's what we need to test next. So, items with Hypixel Skyblock, if you do... Sorry, items with housing, I should say. If you do /item, you have this handy little menu that lets you choose a bunch of different things. I can rename the item, so say here I want to make it a... I'm going to make it a not-so-magic wand. And of course, just to make sure that it doesn't have the italic, there we go, not-so-magic wand. We'll say... Let's see, what color should we do? Let's do 7. There we go. There we go. It's a wand that does not much. Okay, and for this, we'll just do that for a blink line. And then we'll do, say, NB, add L, ability, and then we'll do that to reset. Unimpress. There we go. I'll do and E. There we go. Ability, unimpress, right click. Do nothing at all, and we'll say... minus... Let's see, what color is it? Just say it costs 50 mana. There you go. You can unimpress people by right-clicking and doing nothing at all, except for consuming 50 mana. Although I think that order is weird, so let's put the emoji on the other side. Okay, so it consumes 50 mana, but it doesn't actually yet. So what we need to do is we need to go in here, we need to change player stat, or actually, before we do that, we need to go and put a conditional in there, if it will let us. It won't let us put a conditional in here? That's crazy. Is it going to make me use a function for every right-click ability? Surely not. Okay, well, apparently it's going to make me use a function for every right-click ability. Just kind of cursed. We'll just call this function magic wand. And we'll say if mana is greater than or equal to 50, which is the mana cost, then we will remove 50 mana. And we will say the wand did nothing. If not, then we'll do it in red, and we'll say you don't have enough mana, but the wand did nothing anyway. There we go. Now, if we want to add that ability to the item, we just go in here, have it set to trigger the magic wand function. See, the wand did nothing, except for consume my mana. And then I do it again, the wand did nothing again, except for consume my mana. Then I do it again when I don't have enough mana, and it says you don't have enough mana, but the wand did nothing anyway. So there we go. We've now successfully used up my mana. But of course, we don't want my mana to be gone forever, so let's go ahead and look into the regen function. Once more, we've got ones for the health, but now we need to do it for the mana. So let's see. If the mana is less than stat.player / max mana. So if the mana is less than the maximum mana, then we will, let's increment it by 5. And then just like with the other thing, if mana is greater than max mana, then it's nice and simple. We can just set mana to max mana. So now the mana should increment and then stop at 100. There we go, and now you can use the mana again and it'll be regenerating. And there we go. So we've now successfully got an item that we can use mana. And that's the only thing it does. It's very unimpressive. It does nothing at all. Except for consume mana, so it's kind of pointless, huh? But there we go. We've successfully made a health system. You can take fall damage. Fall damage might be a little bit brutal right now. No, it's not so bad. And we've got this magic wand that successfully does nothing. Except for consume mana, of course. Maybe I should add that to here so that I don't have to keep saying it. There you go. Edit lore, do nothing at all. Does nothing at all except consumes mana. Hello, egg. Okay, so we've got the wand that does nothing. And we've got fall damage. We've got a basic leveling system where we can push this button to gain experience. And the amount of experience that we need goes up with each level. So there's a very nice rudimentary system here that you can then expand into pretty much any game that you could ever want. Because you've got experience, you've got money, you have levels, you have health, you have mana. In fact, defense is the only thing that we haven't implemented yet, and that's only because there's no combat system, so defense is kind of useless. But that's alright. So for right now, this is what we have. We've got a very nice system here that we can use to then go on and build out the rest of the game from. So the real question is here, what do we want to get started on next? There are, of course, quite a few systems that we'll have to work on, especially if we want this to be any good. And that includes things like the mining system, the combat system, pretty much the actual gameplay part of this. Because right now we've got a bunch of technical stuff, we've got yeah, pretty much just a lot of the technical stuff. There's really no more depth to it beyond that at the moment. So what we need to do is actually figure out some gameplay now. So let's see here. Hypixel Skyblock. Let's see, there's mining, fishing, foraging, combat. Those are really the main skills. The other ones don't really matter as much. Of course, there's enchanting, alchemy, all that sort of stuff. I don't think we're going to be able to do alchemy in here, and I don't think we're going to be able to do enchanting very much, if at all, in here. So now I think we need to get started with equipment. So say we need to figure out a way to have a piece of armor that grants health when you wear it. So let's see if we can investigate that and see if it's actually a possible thing to do. So let's get started with... let's do this. I'll say the original chest plate. Quite a classic right there. So there's our original chest plate right here, which is quite a classic. Let's say that this adds... Let's see. Say that it adds health. Or maybe not health, because working on defense first will be simpler without needing as much technical stuff. Let's go with defense. Say that it gives you plus 100 defense. There we go. Plus 100 defense. You can see now, if I put this chest plate on, pretty much nothing happens. That's as expected. I haven't actually programmed anything yet. So let's go ahead and see if we can find a way that we might be able to do this. Okay, let's look for event actions. Change held items. So that is when the player's scrolling around in their hotbar. That might be useful for when we're trying to detect what sort of tool the player's holding. So let's keep that in mind. Pick up item when they pick something off the ground. If we have any sort of accessories or anything like that, then pick up and drop items are going to be very useful. Same thing for any items that the player's holding. If they drop the item, you don't want them to still be as if they're holding it. Bleep parkour, not as useful. Block break, that'll be very useful for mining and foraging systems. Damage might be useful if we have any form of PvP, which we probably won't. Entering the portal, that's going to be useful for some things, but not very much. Fish caught, so we can do a fishing simulator, guys. Do you guys want to do a fishing simulator? The fishing skill would probably be the easiest skill to do first, if I'm going to be honest. Alright, group change, player respawn, player kill, player death, player equip, player joined. Okay, so unfortunately there is no player equip armor or anything like that. So let's see if there's anything that we can work with in here. Okay. So let's check on the conditionals here. So what things can we check? Team stat requirement, required team, placeholder number, required game mode, hunger, health, flying, sneaking, has potion effect, doing parkour, has item. Okay, has item might be a good thing. Stat requirement, required group. So has item, I think, is what we need. Has item, what to check? Metadata, item type. Item has the same metadata anywhere. We can check if it's in an armor slot. So we need to check if the player has, say, a specific helmet or a specific chest plate. That means enchantments might not be able to work. Because, as you can see, in order for it to match the exact metadata, that would mean it would require the same name, the same stats, the same everything about the item. The item would have to be exactly identical. And it has to be that way because if I want different types of chest plates that both use the same diamond chest plates as the model, right? With Hypixel Skyblock, it does that all the time with leather chest plates and things. Then if I didn't have that there, then every single leather chest plate would count as the same item. Which is unfortunate. I wish it allowed you to be a little bit more specific with what data you're tracking. Like, say if it had the same name, I really want it to allow us to have the same name. I'm going to suggest that to the Hypixel admins if I can. So we have the original chest plate and our armor. Then there we go. I guess we can send a chat message that just goes, "Wow, look at that! You have the original chest plate in your armor." So let's go ahead and debug that to start with. So we need to do /function run armor. It says wow because I'm wearing the original chest plate. Quite a classic, to be sure. So it successfully detected that I was wearing that chest plate. So pretty much the thing that we'll want to do is when we're calculating the defense and health, instead of just setting it to an initial value when we first start, we want it to check periodically, basically, whether or not you're wearing that piece of armor and how much defense or health or whatever other bonus that armor gives you. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So for armor, going to get rid of this for now, actually. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this whole function, and I'm going to do calculate stats. So first off, we want to set max health we want to set that to 100 because that's the default value for the health. We want to set max mana also to 100. So as you can see, max health set 100, max mana set 100. Then we want to do defense set 100. Or not 100, 0 I should say. 0 is the default defense. Okay, so now what I want to do is when I'm trying to calculate the stats, then I can run a conditional and say, well, if the player has the original chestplate with this specific metadata, a diamond chestplate with that specific metadata, in the armor slots, doesn't matter how many they have, but as long as they're wearing one in the armor slots, then we need to change defense increment 100, because as you can see, this gives 100 defense. And then if I want to add another stat, we can worry about that in a minute. But now I basically just need this to check and calculate these stats as often as possible, which is every 4 ticks by default. So now if I'm wearing this original chestplate, it's still not doing it. Okay. Do I have the original chestplate in my armor slot with any amount? Yes. And if I do, then I should... Am I spelling defense correctly? Den fence. Wow, that's crazy. All right, let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Defense set 100. So as you can see, I now have 100 defense. If I take this chestplate off, I have 0 defense again. 100 defense, 0 defense. 100 defense, 0 defense. So there we go. Defense currently doesn't do anything, but now we can change the player's stats just by equipping or removing pieces of armor. So let's add an extra thing to this chestplate. So as you can see, we've got the original chestplate. We've got the lore here, plus 100 defense. And right here, we want to do plus, and we'll say 500 health. And health is red, so let's do that. There we go. Plus 100 defense, plus 500 health. And you see, if I equip this, then not only do I not get any health, but I also don't get the defense anymore. So as you can see, the metadata, the thing where it says 500 health, is now different from the chestplate that is actually checking for. I hope Hypixel I hope that Hypixel housing is updated to allow us to check for just the name of the item or something like that, so that we don't have to be so specific. But in order to fix that, I just need to go in here when I say has item, then I just put this in here. So I swap it out with the new version of that item. And then when I go in here and I change player stat, I also want to go in here and I want to change max health. I want to increment that by 500. Because as you can see, this grants 500 max health. So now if I put it on, you should see my max health is now 600. My defense is now 100. And I'll heal my way up to that much health. Of course, if I take this off, my health will reset down to 100. And my defense will reset down to 0. So we've now got a piece of equipment that buffs the player in some way. So this original chestplate gives you 100 defense and 500 health. Honestly, not bad stats for a single chestplate. Especially for the first chestplate ever. And of course, the same system would work with any other item. So if you have different kinds of chestplates, or leggings even, or helmets, or boots, or anything like that, then you can check for those too. And just like with the chestplate I just did, has item checking for the armor slots for armor, but you can also check if it's in their main hand, if it's an item that they're holding. So if you have a sword that grants strength, for example, which we haven't implemented yet, then you would want to check if it's in their hand. If it's in their hotbar, for maybe there's some item that has to be on their hotbar to give them a buff. Or if it can be anywhere in their inventory, like an accessory. Or if it can be anywhere in general, whether they're wearing it or have it in their inventory or anywhere, then you can check for that too. So those are the different things you can do. You can check for specific items that have that specific metadata, or if you only have one item that's that uses that base item. So like if you only have one diamond chestplate, then you can just say if the player's wearing any diamond chestplate, and that'll kind of save you the headache. Save you a couple headaches. The only problem is that it is very difficult to balance things. So if you have an item that you want to change to like buff or nerf later, the base item that people have, if you change which item it's looking for, it'll actually change, like, it'll make their old items useless. They won't be functional anymore, which is unfortunate. So you'd have to make a system that would allow people to update their old items to the new item versions, which would be a shame to have to do, but unfortunately that's just one of the technical limitations of this. I hope they'll fix that later somehow. It would still be a nightmare to deal with figuring out how to make that thing work technically, but still, it would be very nice. So let's go ahead and take off this original chestplate, put it in the chest with the not-so-magic wand. There we go. We've successfully created 2 pieces of equipment. So we've got the magic wand that consumes mana in order to do nothing, although it could do something if we wanted it to. Like, say, right-click to gain coins. And we've got this original chestplate. Now this wand, conveniently, we can actually change the metadata of this wand just fine, because the unique things about this wand are determined by the function that it triggers when you right-click. The chestplate, however, and any tools or items that the player is using that don't have special abilities like that, unfortunately, they're going to be limited by that technical restriction, which is a shame. But I think that just about covers most of the things that I wanted to get done today. And I still have a pretty decent amount of time. Still got like an hour before I need to get started on dinner. So in that case, would you guys like me to keep going, or should I hop on to like actual Skyblock or something for a little while and you guys can hang out with me there? What do you guys think? I can show you guys my new island actually, while I'm waiting for the replies to show up because of stream delay. Alright guys, let's show you my Skyblock island. Yeah, so as you can see, I've cleaned things up a bit. I don't have those ugly wooden walls anymore. Got this nice cliffside with the trees on the top. The trees aren't all the way around. Still got some plains areas on the tops of the cliffs. I got rid of the walls in the middle of my parkour. Sorry about the frame rate, by the way. It's going down because of just the amount of stuff in this area. It's a lot of armor stands. Yeah, as you can see, done a lot of decorating. I was going to put like a waterfall going down here. I mean, I realize there's not a whole lot of value to making your personal island in Skyblock very fancy because people don't usually visit it. As you can see, I've got like this special auction room that you guys can visit if I do an event. This was originally going to be a lowballing room, just crazy. This place looks crazy for a lowballing room. But I decided to go for something similar because this felt kind of overkill. I tried to make it with a redstone system as well, but I hit the redstone limit, so I just manually activated everything with levers to make it look fancy instead. If you guys want to see my actual lowballing room, I haven't actually done any lowballing yet. I don't know if it's going to be any good. But this is the room that I ended up doing. As you can see, the goal, our powers combined, obtain all 5 wither blades. So far I've got the Valkyrie. For some reason the cross line that's supposed to be crossing it out is missing. But I have the Valkyrie. Still need to get the Hyperion, Astrea, Scylla, and the Unrefined Blade. Here's my Valkyrie, by the way. Let me pull it out. Suspicious Valkyrie. Full hot potato books, Art of War. And gotta upgrade my Jasper. Fatal Tempo. I know a lot of people are gonna criticize me for going with a Valkyrie and putting Fatal Tempo on it. And Suspicious. I've done a lot of things with this weapon that a lot of people might find objectionable, but it actually is a pretty good sword. It does a whole ton of damage. If I were to take it to the Crimson Isle, I should probably get a healing wand on me, actually, before I do too much. Once you get the Fatal Tempo ticking, this sword actually has crazy DPS. Okay, let's see. There's Blade Soul. There we go. It's not fully ticking yet. There, it's starting to get up there. You can see all those damage counters appearing above it. Oh, I'm taking some damage there. I've already done like 15 million damage, and I don't even have a very good loadout as far as magical power goes at the moment. So honestly, really good DPS considering. Not good enough, apparently. Oh, it's because I don't have my God Potion. That's probably it. I forgot that my God Potion wore off. But yeah, when I have my God Potion on and I have everything set up properly, then it does a pretty decent amount of damage. And also when I'm not using Rabbit Pet. Yeah, honestly, we're doing pretty well off recently. Got almost 100 million coins just in Person Bank. A bit more in Bazaar and Auction House. Things are coming along well as far as Skyblock goes. Looking forward to hopefully we get who were the mayors again? I was looking for Foxy. Yeah, Foxy, and I want Diaz to be minister. And I guess if either of these two are elected, then the minister perk activates either way. I don't know why anyone would go for Marina. I don't know why anyone would go for Atrox, except for maybe that it has 2 benefits this time instead of more. Scorpius, I feel like a lot of people will be tempted to go for Scorpius. But come on, guys. Diaz, once they get all their perks for next mayor election cycle, that'll be crazy, okay? Diaz is like crazy for money making. Plus it would be really nice. I want to be able to sell these for a decent price. I have so many stock of stocks. But yeah. And of course, Foxy for the carnival. I've got some carnival tickets already from the... Oh, Star PvP, hey! What's up? I was recreating Skyblock within housing, but I kind of finished with what I was working on for the time being, so I went to actual Skyblock instead. I need to turn off shaders, but the shaders, for some reason, take ages to turn off, so I don't really want to bother at the moment. Yo, it's a rat, guys. It's a rat. I killed it. I got some cheese. Anyway. I gotta get my, magical power up. Hello, my man. Tar PvP? That's a new one. Wonder why it shows up as Tar PvP for that thing. You're interested in becoming a good SMP YouTuber? Hit me up on Discord. Hit me up on Discord. I'll talk to you about that. Hold on, let me go lobby real quick. Downloading replay mod right now? Yeah, very good, very good. Just so you know, Star, this is my Hypixel Skyblock recreation thing that I'm working on. This also will serve as like an overview for anybody who missed the first bit. So in this stream so far, we've added coins, which currently do nothing. We've added levels, which also currently do nothing. And experience. When you gain experience, this button will give me like 50 at a time. You'll eventually level up once you hit the target experience. And then the amount of experience needed to level up the next time will also go up. And then you can see I've got health, defense, and mana. Got a not-so-magic wand, and I've got the original chestplate here. If I use the not-so-magic wand, as you can see, it consumes mana. My mana regenerates. The wand successfully did nothing. If I run out of mana and try to use it, the wand still does nothing. And then you can see I put on this chestplate here, which gives 100 defense, 100 health. I now have 600 health and 100 defense, and my health is slowly regenerating. There's also fall damage. See, I took some fall damage there. It doesn't reflect on my hotbar, like with my actual health bar. But that's just a technical limitation to prevent people from dying when they're not supposed to, I guess. I might be able to block that event using the event actions, player death. Oh, I can. I can do that. Okay, that's cool, actually. I'll have to experiment with that a little bit more later. But as you can see, if I take it off, my health goes back to normal, defense goes back to 0. Honestly, it's not as complicated as you think. Once I go through this and like edit this down properly into a video, it should be fairly easy to understand. So if any of you guys watching didn't understand anything that I did during this stream when I'm making this, if you make sure you subscribe, then I'll hopefully have a video out soon that'll kind of explain things in a simple way. Because most of this programming here is not actually as hard as it sounds. Well, okay, yeah, Cobra Coded. That's a good point. I am a programmer, so I might just think it's easier. But no, I feel like this is actually not too hard to understand. As long as you understand like basic algebra, I guess, then you should be good to go. I know none of you guys want to be doing math right now. But unfortunately, algebra is necessary for programming anything, really. Like, health is just a variable, right? It's a couple of letters representing numbers. And we can do math on the numbers by putting the letters in there, right? It's weird. But that's just how programming works. But yeah, let's see. Honestly, I'm really excited for how things could go here. I did build something very similar to this previously, for anyone who wasn't around for that. I think you forgot I'm barely 13. I mean... Yeah. If you're... I hope you're at least 13. If you're not at least 13, you shouldn't be on YouTube. Or Discord, for that matter. But, this was my previous iteration of this. There wasn't any health system, but it was a little bit more refined. There's a banker here. I want to make a better banking system. Maybe we can work on that for a little bit. I had a mining system that unfortunately broke, and I don't remember how to fix it. Had a bunch of custom items that, a couple of custom items that, unfortunately are not very usable because of how buggy this attempt is. Honestly, it looks so good. It looks so good. But the other one's going to be better. I prepared everything better for it. All right. Yeah, let's actually look into a banking system. Let's see. Do you guys know of any lock here that might make a good cell phone? Let's see. What's a good representation for a cell phone? Oh, these monitors. Let's see. A, B, C, D. Let's just do O. We'll do the letter O for the phone. Let's call this... What do they call them in Hypixel? Abaphones? Yeah, Abaphone. Let's call this Endophone. I don't know if that's cursed or not. Just call it Enderphone instead. Or just ePhone. I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know. What do you guys think I should call it? Is ePhone good, or should I come up with a better name? It's bad in the best way possible. Makes sense. Maybe I'll make a special one that's Enderphone. Here, let's put away this one right now. I'm gonna make a special one just for me. The admin's phone. And of course it has to have the E. There we go. There we go. Let's make this one all fancy, because why not? There we go. and obfuscated. It's not gonna let me do that. Yeah, let me make it a little bit shorter. There we go. There we go. Now mine's all fancy. How about that? Okay, and we'll do this. There we go. Right click to turn on the phone. How about that? Okay, and this one's going to be pretty simple. I'm actually just going to put it in there for the time being, because what I need to do is I need to create a custom menu. Okay, call it the admin phone for the time being. Biggest size possible. As you can see, I've got all these empty slots to work with. I can make all sorts of different buttons. I'm going to take a coin bag. Let's see. Money. Is there a different coin bag? Ooh, which one's better? Let's see. Yeah, the coin bag is better than the money bag. Okay, here we go. We just do /item, and let's rename this to bank. Okay, now I can open this back up again. Custom menus. There we go. Now we have a bank. Now when you right click on the bank, maybe it can do something special. But unfortunately, before I do that, I actually need to go and make the bank. Let's get started with that. So we don't need to worry about that right now. Bank. Okay, so honestly, the problem with the bank is that there's no way to dynamically input data. So like I can't have the players input text. I can't have the players input anything like that. Because the only way that they can input things is by clicking on items. And I don't necessarily want that to be tedious when the player's trying to click on an item. So in order to make the bank as usable as possible, I actually just have to create a ridiculous amount of buttons, pretty much. Like, maybe I could do a keypad or something, but that would take a lot of technical effort, and I'm not sure if it's actually worth it to make a keypad. What do you guys think? I kind of want to let you guys help me figure out what solution I should take here. Should I go through the effort of making a complicated keypad, or should I just make a bunch of quick options and then people can click, oh, withdraw 1 million or something like that? Because, like, if I do a keypad, then that means that I have to make a system for inputting the numbers that way. And I don't have a way to show what numbers the players inputted to them very well. Keypad doesn't make much sense to you? Yeah, so the reason for a keypad is that it's either I do a keypad and people have to click the individual numbers to determine how much they want to put in or take out of the bank, or I have to have people press buttons, like say one of these buttons deposits 1 million, one of them withdraws 1 million, one deposits 100,000, one withdraws 100,000. So it's basically just how many buttons do we want, and is it worth it to... Man. Because normally in Skyblock you can say deposit all, withdraw all, deposit 50%, withdraw 50%, that sort of thing. That's something that I can put quick buttons for. But as far as like if people want to deposit or withdraw specific amounts of money, like say you have a bank that has 126 million coins in there and you want only 3 million coins, then if you wanted to do it with the individual button system, you'd have to press the withdraw 1 million coins button 3 times. And then if you needed like 26 coins or something, you'd have to press withdraw 10 coins 2 times, withdraw 1 coin 6 times, that sort of thing. But the keypad, well, it would be a little bit more difficult to program, would allow people to just kind of type out the number that they want to do. It's just they do it with the buttons instead of with a keyboard. And it would be a little bit more tedious to implement. Grog, hello. I hope I'm saying your name the way that it's intended. But yeah, it's a little bit of a dilemma. Do we want to have a ton of buttons, or do we want to have a keypad that'll be a lot harder to program? NPC is much easier. Well, sure, you can have an NPC, but if you talk to the NPC, then that's what opens the menu. The only problem is you can't multiple choice NPC. Is that a new thing that they've added? Let me pull this out. Click actions. Is that a thing? I'm not sure how to do it. You can change player stat. Is it within here? Oh yeah, you can change a player stat when you talk to the NPC. The main thing that I'm concerned about is like displaying it, because as far as like text input goes, like if I want to give a specific number, that's where the problem comes in. Yo, man's looking at me. Yeah, so if I go to don't need text input. I need text input for a banking system. That's what I understand. Make it so it brings up a custom menu. Well, yeah, I can do that. But that's the problem. I need text input in order to determine how much money a player is going to withdraw from a bank. Right, so you can talk to the NPC, and the NPC can open up the bank GUI, for example. Right now it's empty. Is there a way to do custom chat messages, like, that change player stats within text? Like buttons within text? Bank menu with a draw / add, click with a draw. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be useful. You click with a draw and then you can... Okay, yeah, so what you're describing is kind of how I had it work with my old banking system. I'm just thinking, like, instead of having a ton of buttons, maybe a keypad would be better so people could do specific numbers. Like, what if I want to withdraw, say, 1,529 coins for some reason? Then you could do 1529 if you had a keypad. Maybe I can just kind of do both and let the player choose which one they want. I don't know. It might not be as hard as I was thinking, because honestly, all you need is to put in 10 times the number of what they click and store that in a variable. And that way each thing is just a new digit, right? You multiply it by 10, and then you move on to the next digit, and then you put that digit in, and then they put in the next digit, multiply it by 10, put in the next digit. I think it might not be as hard as it sounds. I think I'm going to try it. Like, I know that, like, the system you're talking about might work too. But I feel like a keypad might work still. Yeah, I know how conditionals work. I literally made a whole system here. Let's see. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll get X for reset. Maybe. Here, hold on. Let me... That's reset. That's confirm. And then, of course, we got to put 0 up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to stop backseating. Looks better if you stack glass. That's probably true, actually. That's a good suggestion. Let's see how that looks. It doesn't work for 1. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's also no way to do 0. That's the only problem with stacked glass. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do C. I'm pretty sure C is red. Yeah, there we go. Ender pearls are in the shape of 0. That's true. I don't know about that, though. Let's see. I don't need that exclamation mark on there. Okay, so we've got basically a number pad here. Okay, I think we've actually got a pretty decent idea going here. Okay, so let's go back to this. Custom menus, bank. Let's see, I'm actually going to rename this one. Bank amount. And then I'll call this one bank. Did I make a skyblock housing? I did make one a while ago, but it was very buggy. So I'm kind of remaking one that with better systems for everything. Okay, so bank is going to be where you choose whether you want to deposit or withdraw, pretty much. So let's go to this one. We only need one row for that. Let's see, hopper and a chest minecart ought to do. Which one should we deposit? Which one should be withdraw? Should this be deposit and this one withdraw? Let's see. There's no way to like view transaction history or anything because I don't want to have to program that system. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Item. I think copper should be deposit. Okay. Let's make sure that's not italic. Withdraw. Pretty sure I spelled that correctly. Alright. Now into here, bank. We want to do this one. Deposit, withdraw. I guess that's all we really need there. Let's go ahead and throw this in with the other buttons. Okay. Honestly, I don't need to change the names of any of those items. They're already numbered. Okay, now we go into the bank amount. And you can put the keypad here. Okay, so there we go. We've got a keypad. And then over here, we can put like the deposit all, withdraw, sorry, deposit all, deposit half, deposit 20%, or something like that. Let's use the minecarts for that as well. So we can do deposit all, deposit half, deposit 20%. That feels good. Oh. I'll not actually say deposit because they might have selected withdraw, and I can kind of reuse the menu for both the withdraw and deposit. So I'll just say all coins. And then for this one, half of your coins. Here we go. And for this one, 1% of your coins. Coins? I don't know what that was. Coins. There we go. All coins, half of your coins, 20% of your coins. Nice. Okay, we're making some good progress here. The banking system is probably one of the most difficult ones, because if you get it wrong, people will just duplicate money. They will have no mercy. Oh, whoops, opened the wrong menu. Here we go, bank amount. do it here. Is that good? Menu feels empty. Let's decorate it a little bit. Maybe with some yellow stained glass. Let's remove its name. It'll let me. Should make a menu open up another menu. Yeah, so what I have right now, so the system is that you open up the bank. It asks you if you want to deposit or withdraw. I should probably add a cancel button in there too. And then if you deposit or withdraw, then it'll open up this. And you'll be able to deposit or withdraw all coins, half, 20%, or you'll be able to input a specific number with this keypad. To be honest, I could probably make the menu smaller. I don't need 2 of those rows. So let's try seeing if it'll allow me to make it smaller. Without, yeah, it took things off the edge. That's okay though. So it's 2 menus. Yeah, it's 2 menus right now. I'm gonna fix it up. I only need 4 rows though for this. Okay, let's see. Let's repair what we've lost there. That's not where it's supposed to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. I'm gonna have to manually go through, clear those. That's the price of troubleshooting a few things here. Figuring out the best system. Okay, all coins, half of your coins, 20% of your coins. Let's see. I'm going to also make a button. Change bank mode so people can change between depositing or withdrawing if they accidentally click on the wrong one. Just because there's an extra 4th slot there, might as well. There we go. Might as well. Not that. Bank amount. Okay, now I can actually make the keypad work. Okay, so basically what we need to do is when the player first inputs a number, it sets a stat to be that number. Okay, and then when they press the second number, it multiplies that by 10, so say if I pressed 1, the 1 turns into a 10, and then I press the 2, and it becomes 12. And then then I press the third number, the 1 turns into 100, the 2 turns into a 20, the 3 is just a 3. And I can kind of keep doing that infinitely, or I can press reset or confirm to actually withdraw or deposit that amount. So I think that's the right way to handle things here. So let's put all these buttons back in here. Okay. All right, so now if you can do math.floor, you could also add backspace. Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think I could divide something by 10 because I'm pretty sure it only works with whole numbers. So if you divide something by 10, it should just remove the one space. But we can test that after we get the basic thing working, because worst case scenario, if we don't have any backspace, people can just cancel and then type it in again, which isn't the end of the world. If people get mad about that, then, well, too bad, I guess. It's a technical limitation. Let's see. So what I need to do now, let me make sure I'm keeping track of everything. I should probably be writing down what all the stats are in a Google Doc or something so that I can make sure I don't lose track of what we've got. There we go. Okay. So let's see. The stats that we're currently using are coins. We also have level. We also have XP. Can't remember. Was it experience goal or just experience or target experience? I'm pretty sure it was experience goal, XP goal. Let me double check just to make sure. XP goal, that's what it was. Okay, we also have health, as well as max health. We have mana, as well as max mana. We also have defense. And as well as far as like back-end stuff goes for damage calculation, we also have fall damage. So that's one of the back-end things that's used for calculating fall damage instead of for proper gameplay elements, I guess. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so then we also have bank. So we need bank to be different from coins. Okay, and now we can start working on some of the utility things. So we need bank mode for like if it's withdraw or deposit mode. And we also need input number for the keypad. I think those are the only two stats that we will need to make the entire bank system work. Because I can kind of reuse input number for calculation of some things. The only problem is, how do I tell the player what number they've inputted? Because I can't do placeholders within item names, unfortunately. Because if I try to do /item and then say stat.player/health, that doesn't work. It just changes it to be literally that thing. So I can't do that in menus either, I'm pretty sure. Although I feel like you should be able to. I could do it on the action bar. I don't know if that's a good idea, though. Let's see. Maybe I should just put it on the score, not the score. Oh yeah, the scoreboard. Okay. Let's go back. I didn't mean to do that thing. Okay. And we'll have this custom line say stat dot player dot flash input number whoops, I forgot to do the close percent. Okay, we'll just have that there as a debug. We'll try to figure out a better solution later on. But for right now, I'll just kind of add it to the scoreboard, since that's the easiest way to display things at the moment. And I should also do the same with the bank. Or actually, you know what I can do? I can use a hologram for some of this information. Not right there, though. Here we go. Okay, add 6. I'll just say money in bank. Then I'll add a line. And I'll do N6. And I'll do stats.player/bank. So there we go. I've got 0 money in the bank. I'm currently inputting a 0. Okay. Now let's place an NPC. I guess that'll open up the bank menu. Look at me hide his name tag. Let's see, is there a banker-like skin that I can use here? Oh yeah, there's the banker. That works. Okay. Now what I want him to do, it's nice and simple. I just want him to display the bank, not the admin phone, the bank. There we go. So I talk to him, he says deposit or withdraw. I can say deposit, but right now it doesn't do anything. I also need to add bank mode to the scoreboard for testing purposes. Stat.player/bank mode. Okay, so when I talk to this guy, if I see deposit, I want it to be 0. If I say withdraw, I want it to be a 1. That'll be easy enough to do. Good luck. Thank you very much. I think I've got it figured out. Thank you very much for your help. Alright, custom menus. Let's go bank. Okay, so for deposit, I need it to change a player stat, bank mode, and I need it to be set to 0. There we go. That's nice and simple. And then I also need it to display the bank amount menu. There we go. And this one, I need it to set bank mode set 0. Sorry, actually I need it to be set to 1, my bad. And then I need it to open the amount menu. There we go. So now when I talk to this guy and I say deposit, it stays 0 and it opens this menu. And when I say withdraw, then it turns to 1 and opens this menu. And when I say deposit again, there you go. If I do change bank mode, then that'll be fairly simple to implement, but I'm not going to worry about it yet. I'm going to work on this keypad here. Okay, so when people... When people push the bank buttons here, deposit, I also want it to change the input number. I just want to set that to 0. And I'll do the same thing here. So right now the player is inputting nothing. That's what we want it to be. So it resets that number whenever they open up that menu. Which is good, because then if I was inputting something, then it would reset when I start putting it in here. Alright, now what I need to do is I need to go into here and I need to go to bank amount. Here we go. So when somebody inputs a 1, what I need to do is I need to take the input number and I need to multiply it by 10. So that'll shift everything over to the right pretty much. And then I need to increment it by 1. So that's when the player puts in a 1. And then here I need to do pretty much the exact same thing. Input number multiplied by 10. Go back out. Input number increment by 2 this time, because that's the 2. So just with this, we can already test it. So deposit, if I press 1, you can see I'm inputting a 1. If I press 1 again, now I'm inputting an 11. Press 1 again, now I'm inputting 111. Press a 2. 1,112. There we go. Now it's 11,122. There we go. Reset doesn't work yet, but that's okay, because once I open this menu, it'll reset things anyway. Okay, so there we go. We've already got the basic idea of the keypad in there. It's not even as hard as I thought it was. Okay, here we go. Input number multiplied by 10. Input number increment by 3. And it's literally just the same thing for all of these other options, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. This is the 4. Pretty sure it's the 4 anyway. Yeah, that should be the 4. And the 5. You guessing there's no copy and paste for the code? Unfortunately not. There's a lot of things that are very tedious about coding with this system. But yeah, it's gonna be tedious, unfortunately. I'm not sure there's anything that they really could do to make it better without mods. So, and of course, Hypixel doesn't want to force anybody to use mods just to play on their server, right? Pretty sure this is 6. It's okay, we'll go through and test everything afterwards. 7. Man, this is taking a minute. Okay, multiply it by 10. Then we need to add 7. Yay! Okay, 8 now. We're so close, guys, I'm telling you. Multiply by 10. Input number 8. Okay, 9. It's the last main one, and then we've got the 0. And then the reset button that we still need to do. That's about it. Submit button we'll take care of after we've made sure everything's working. Here we go, 9. And then, of course, for the 0, we don't need to do anything fancy. We just multiply it by 10. And then we don't add anything else onto it. We just leave it as a 0. And then for reset, very simple. Input number, set 0. There we go. Okay, if I've done this correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. There you go, and it overflowed. If it overflows, then I don't know what to do there. Maybe I should put an upper limit. Say that the number can't go above, I don't know, 100 billion or something. Okay, I can reset it luckily, so there's no problem there. We've got a number system. So say I want to deposit 1,000,000 coins. There we go, there's 1,000,000, and then I press confirm. Or if I want to deposit, say, 168,527. There you go. If I want to put in oddly specific numbers, then I can. That's very nice. All right. I'm going to try to implement backspace. Shouldn't be too difficult. So for this one, we just take the input number, and instead of multiplying it by 10, we should be able to just divide it by 10. And I'm pretty sure that'll just work. So number and then divide by 10 is back to 0 again. If I do 12 and backspace, then it gets rid of the 2. 13 backspace gets rid of the 1. 16 backspace gets rid of the 1. If I try to divide by 0, then there's no problem. 47.8, I can get rid of that. So there we go. We can input numbers and we can even backspace. How about that? I don't know of any number pads that let you backspace except for the ones on your computer. All right. So swap bank mode should be fairly simple to implement. Because I think I can just do 1 minus. Maybe. No, wait, I can't because yeah, because that would require a little bit more work. It's okay. It shouldn't be too bad either way. Okay, so if I change bank mode, then I just want to do is bank mode equal to 0? If yes, bank mode equals 1. If no, bank mode equals 0. There you go. So if I'm in withdrawal mode and I want to deposit, there we go. And I can switch between the two. There you go. All coins, that'll be very simple to do. I just take all the coins that the player has and put that same amount into the bank. Half your coins. I'm gonna need to make a special thing. Bank calculator so that I can do operations like 20% or half. All right, let's see. Bank amount, here we go. This is pretty simple. I just changed the input number, set it to the player's amount. Oh, wait. What if they're in withdraw mode? Ooh, okay. Okay, let's try this approach instead. So if they're in all right. If the bank mode equals 0, that should mean they're in deposit mode, right? If they're in deposit mode, then the input number should be set to the amount of coins that they have. However, if they're in withdraw mode, then the input number should be set to the amount of money they have in their bank. All right. So that's the easy one. Because from there, I just need to determine whether or not they're in withdraw or deposit mode, and then take the coins from their purse or their bank, depending on which one it's supposed to be. Half their coins is a little bit harder. Okay, player stat requirement, not input number, bank mode equals 0. Alright, so if you're withdrawing, input number stat.player/coins. So that's the same thing as originally. But then I'll add an extra thing on here that's input number divided by 2. So it's only half. Same thing for here, except for I'll base it on the bank. Actually, I don't even need that here. I can just use the same conditional. Input number set stat.player/bank. There we go. So if you're withdrawing from the bank, there we go. So whether or not you're withdrawing from the bank or depositing into the bank, then either way, you only want half of that amount. So divided by 2, you only want half of that amount to be in the final result. So that's what we need there. And then for this one, this is just the same thing to start with. So brief recap here. Check the bank mode. If the bank mode is 0, that means we are depositing. And if we are depositing... Where am I going? Okay, if we are depositing, then we want to take the coins from ourselves. So that would be stat.players/coins. There we go. And if we're taking it out of the bank, then we need to do input number equals stat.player/bank, because that's the coins that they have in their bank. There we go. And this time we'll do the same thing because those values are as they need to be. But since we only want 20%, we need to take input number and divide it by 5, because that'll get us 20%. So there we go. We have all coins, half your coins, 20% of your coins. Change the bank mode. We've got backspace. We've got the number input system. So if I press 20% in the actual menu, we should see it turn into 20%. Well, I have 0 coins, so I guess that makes sense. Let's there we go. Now I have 100 coins. Say if I wanted to deposit 20%, then you could see the input is 20 because I have 100 coins. If I wanted to input half my coins, that would be 50 because I have 100 coins. To want to do all of it, that's 100 because I have 100 coins. And if I want to do a different number, then I reset and type it in here. Because normally pressing these buttons would also close the bank menu. So when you press this button, it'll close the bank menu, right? And then when you open it up again, it'll reset your inputs. So if you want to type in a number here, then it won't interfere with that. So that should work just fine. You can swap the bank mode between withdraw and deposit. Ooh, we got some good progress there on the bank. So now we need to actually have it send over the money, right? So in order to do that, I'll make a confirm transfer stat here. And here we will check if the bank mode is 0. If the bank mode is 0, then it's deposit. So we need to take from the coins and put them in the bank. So if it's deposit, then we take input number, or sorry, we take coins and we subtract the input number. So stat.player/input number. And then we also do bank, and we increment that by stat.player/input number. And then we'll basically do the same thing but in reverse for the withdrawing. We'll take away from the bank and add to the Oh, we also need to add a condition to make sure that the player has enough money in order to actually do the transfer, but we'll add that in just a moment. Right now, I'm okay with people going into debt with their bank, I guess. But I'll fix that in a bit. Okay, so it takes away from the player, gives to the bank when depositing. And now we need to take the bank, decrement it by that dot player slash input number. There we go. And then we need to take the coins of the player and increment it by stat.player slash input number. There we go. So that should be working there. Now, of course, it's not checking to make sure you actually have the money that you need in order to do that. But now we can go in here, and when people are choosing the bank amounts, we can now add this function onto the end. Confirm transfer. There we go. Confirm transfer. Confirm transfer. And for this one, we don't need anything special because the player's already set how much they want to do, and we'll do confirm transfer. Okay, so now if we've done this correctly, we can deposit all of my coins. As you can see, I've got 100 coins in the bank. Now I can withdraw all of my coins. Got 100 coins in the bank. I can withdraw all of my coins again, and there are 0 coins in the bank, so I'm not getting any. I can withdraw half my coins, 20% of my coins. I'm still not getting any. I can deposit half of my coins, and then withdraw half of my coins, and that pulls half from the bank, not half from my total amount. So I can deposit all, or withdraw all, deposit half, withdraw half. That still works just as intended as well. So there we go. And if I want to deposit a specific number, like say 42, now I have 42 in the bank and 58 in the purse. And I can withdraw all of that again. There we go. Okay, so the banking system is technically functional. However, I can also withdraw 100 coins that I don't have. Now I have 200 coins and negative 100 in the bank. But I will fix that next time. So for the time being, I need to go and end the stream because I gotta go make some dinner. So I appreciate you guys all being here and sticking around for this rather technical things. I'm sure that things will get a little bit less technical as time goes on. Or maybe they'll get more technical. It's hard to say. Probably just depends on what I'm working on at the moment. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. Thank you guys very much for showing up. And I hope you subscribe and hopefully stick around for when I can hopefully show a tutorial or a basic video of this in video format, where it's a little bit more clean, a little less rough around the edges. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Funny enough, even after all this time, I still don't have a proper stream ending screen, so enjoy this while I get everything shut down, alright?